energy is fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are sources that you use to do many things, like make electricity, heat things up. It's also used to make fuel for vehicles. Fossil fuels come from dead plants and animals that were buried underground years ago. And they were buried underground for about 1 million years ago. And what happens is that those plants and animals die, and so that they start to get pushed underground as Earth starts moving. And after about as many years pass by, that million years after, they start to get they start to break down, and they start to turn into these 3 types of fossil fuels, which are called natural gas, petroleum, and coal. What happens is that after they start to transform into those different things, is that when people start to dig underground, they start to find those different types of fossil fuels, and they start to send them to the refineries. And in refineries, what happens is that they turn all those 3 things into usable fuel that you can actually use. The difference between all 3 of them is that petroleum, which is oil, and natural gas are both made out of underwater animals that lived underwater. And coal is made out of plants that were from swamps. But it actually depends on what plants and animals they come from, and what temperature it was, and also how long it was buried underground. What is coal? Coal is a type of rock found in almost every single country in the world because it's very easy to find it. And what happens is that power plants, which are these, they're like little factories where they put coal, where they use coal as heat. They use the heat to make electricity. Some positives is that coal can be used to make many useful objects. Whereas negatives is that coal mining can collapse. Coal mining, it can be dangerous because it starts to collapse. Breathing coal can damage your lungs. It's non-renewable, which means we can't really use it for a long time for electricity or heat. And it takes away Earth's resources quite quickly. You can find coal underground in the US, but you can also find it in many other places. Some parts of the US, you can find it in Texas, Louisiana, Alaska, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Another type of fossil fuel is natural gas. And natural gas is an invisible type of gas used for cooking and all other things such as electricity as well. Natural gas is basically made out of methane, and I'll explain what methane means later. And natural gas is burned and released in a type of energy that releases heat, and you can use it in many ways. United Arab Emirates, South America, which is also Mexico, the U.S., which is Texas, Louisiana, Alaska, and Oklahoma. Another type of fossil fuel is petroleum, also known as oil, and it's used for gasoline and diesel fuel. And those types of fuels are used for vehicles. Diesel fuel is actually used for the trucks, and gasoline is used for transportation, like cars, and also chemicals of petroleum are used for food, and they're also used in many different things, such as your shoes and like also waxy kind of stuff. Some positive and negatives of petroleum are positive. They're used for food and medicine. They're used for transportation. Negatives are it's non-renewable, takes away Earth's resources, creates pollution, and oil spills. This can also be found in basically everywhere because it's dug underground and it's easy. Sometimes it's easy to find oil, but sometimes it's not. It depends on where you are. But some places that can be found in is Russia, Iran, Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Texas, Louisiana, Alaska, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Singapore, Canada, and Asia. Some of my questions and answers. What is kinetic energy? Some of my questions are not, well, all my questions are not really based on fossil fuels because I actually went to research on one. But I researched on kinetic energy for my personal questions. So, first I looked at what is kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is a form of energy for movement and motion. And any object, either if it's horizontal or vertical, and if it moves, obviously it has kinetic energy. There are three types of kinetic energy, which are translational, vibrational, and rotational kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy used for? Kinetic energy is used for everything. Without kinetic energy, there would be no movement or anything happening in the world. And also, it's used for walking, riding, everything that you do basically. Can energy disappear? I haven't really researched this one, but I started interviewing some people, which are my brothers and my sisters and my parents. And they said that energy cannot really disappear because we always, even if there wasn't any sound energy, kinetic energy, or elastic energy, or any type of form of energy, we'll still have gravitational energy, and even if we were in space, we'll still be moving at all times. This is my glossary. Methane is swamp gas.
Sam, did you have a question?
Can you make energy transform? Because you said higher different at different temperatures, the energy moves to like it decides what it turned into. So can it like go from natural gas into oil?
It also depends on what animal it's from
Okay.
and how long it's from.
Would some people use like dinosaur bones, for example, to make
Yeah.
fuel?
Some archaeologists, they actually find some fossils, and they're like historic animals. So some fuels are actually made out of it.
So like